Hello, everyone. Hi, Valerie. It is the 19th of July, 2020 already. So we're here for our monthly new moon reading. And it's the second new moon in a row in Cancer. So we're closing out this cycle of this Cancer energy, which I always associate with the mother. It's all about the moon, emotions, and a feminine energy somehow. So so that's about all I have to say. Yeah, that's it. Anything you want to say about the moon today, Valerie?
No, I'm in one of no. I'm the comic relief here. I don't pay attention to this stuff.
I would normally put more effort into it. I just having a rough moon this time, so that's
okay.
all I'm gonna say.
I'm sure a lot of people can relate.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've decided to do all my cards from my pretty Chrysalis tarot deck, which I haven't used in a while.
Oh,
so
okay,
it was
lovely.
time to get them out and revisit them.
Nice. So you're doing 4 from there, or all 5, including the theme?
All 5. I'm doing the theme from there. Yes, I'm being wild and crazy.
Wow, way to go.
And being boring. All from the same deck.
I like it, actually. I keep going back to my same ones. I'm doing the theme from the Gaia Oracle, and then the I'm switching up week by week the animals and tarot, the good tarot and the spirit animal oracle, as usual. But hey, it is what it is. I like it.
Hey, routine is good, so.
Yeah.
I've got to organize my messy desk here so I can take my notes for our reading.
Okay.
What the heck day is it? Oh, it's the 19th. Okay.
I'll start with the theme. I got number 10, which is Jewel Within a Teardrop, Appreciation, Spiritual and Emotional Reconnection. Actually, that sounds perfect. It sounds like perfectly in alignment with this Cancer new moon, because it feels like a deep return to something, a return to the mother, to the emotional parts of ourselves. I've been feeling extremely emotional lately, and I mean, I quite often do around the moons, but it's usually the full moon, and this time it's in this new moon. And I think that there's, just an aspect of sitting with it and allowing yourself to feel it all, and know that you're safe wherever you are. It also feels like how much more appreciation we might have for the connections, the really deep connections that we have within our lives if we haven't seen them for a while, right? Like, it really reminds us to be mindful and appreciative and grateful for the things that we do have, the connections that we do have in our lives. So when we're meeting up again with friends after being locked down for such a long time, just how it reminds you that sometimes those things are the most important things we have. Yeah. That's about it.
Tell me again the words at the bottom. I had a hard time seeing them.
Appreciation, spiritual and emotional reconnection.
Oh, perfect.
And it's a number 10 as well. I don't know if I said that, but that's the end of a cycle. The end and the beginning all rolled into one.
Mm-hmm.
So
cool.
It does feel like there's something big that's ending with this moon, because actually the last one we had was an eclipse. So, we eclipsed with the beginning Cancer new moon, and now we're ending that cycle somehow. So there may have been stuff that came up between the last new moon and this one that feels like big life lesson type stuff, family of origin, anything around relationships, either within families, within friendships, within love relationships. It feels like some of that stuff is really being tied up now, loose ends being tied up. Yeah.
Well, in my theme card, kind of course, goes along with yours. It's funny because yours was jewel within a teardrop, and this one's the star.
Ah.
And it's number 17
Cool.
to 8.
Yeah.
But it kind of goes along to all that you were saying. And the thing I like about this one is the horses are all different colors. It kind of goes along with the shift that we're in. It's kind of why I guess I was guided to this deck, because it's the chrysalis tarot, because we're still in the chrysalis. We have not emerged yet. We're still in the muck of the chrysalis. But this, the horses are joyfully accepting the information from above, and they're playing with the information. And they're reaching for it. They're receiving it. Oh, one moment, please.
Oh, okay, you're back.
Oh, okay. And so they're reaching up to receive the gifts of the stars from above and the information, and they're playful. They look very playful with this information. So so yet again, it goes to the appreciation. But it's just it's going to be an interesting month, I'm afraid to say. I mean, there's going to be playfulness and such, but I still think it's a time of receiving and learning, and staying in touch with and getting better in tune with our higher selves and the information, and yet again enjoying our life, seeing the beauty in our lives, and quit with the media and quit with all that stuff. This is the big piece, the appreciation and the spiritual and emotional reconnection with ourselves, with our creator or whatever we believe in, and then with the people in our lives. That's the big theme for the month, I think.
Yeah. And I think that spirit and our intuition connects with us through our emotions. So the more in tune we can be with that, like as we open our hearts to more and more, we get more information, we get more insights, and some people call them downloads. So there is this feeling of, it can be quite overwhelming, and you can wonder why am I feeling so emotional? But the why doesn't matter. It's just part of this process, this chrysalis process that you were talking about too. The shedding, which actually just ties so perfectly with this next card for the first week, transformation, which is the death card in the traditional tarot. And she's got a baby phoenix being born in her hands there. So it is this idea of all things must come to an end before we move into the new. This baby phoenix can't be born unless the old one decides to die, right? It's like to go off in flames, and the butterfly can't be born unless it first lets the caterpillar part of itself die, right? So there is this sense of, we are in the midst of the transition. We are not out of it yet. The vehicle for it may have been the lockdown, may have been this virus, may have been whatever it was. Change is underway, but we won't see the results of it yet. We're in the process still. It may feel like, oh, we're going back to normal, but we're not. We're still changing within ourselves, and within deep underground changes that are happening across the whole collective. So there's lots more going on than we may see on the surface. So that breaks down to a 4 as well, which is great because it talks about structures. So breaking down the structures.
Cool.
Creating new ones.
Well, and mine is the Muse, the Queen of Spirals.
Oh, lovely.
And I always think of the Muse as, yet again, the Muse is the inspiration that comes to us through the world around us, through thoughts in our head, through a song or a word we read, and it's about, so it can come from within us, it can come outside, but it's going to be gentle. The information coming in is gentle. The deer is very gentle, and the queen's very a feminine, soft energy. So this next week we want to take our time and pay attention and listen. It kind of goes with the theme, pay attention and receive these messages and receive the information and listen to our hearts and the feminine, whether you have a mother or not, the mother within you, listen to that, nurture yourself, nurture others, whatever. But it seems like a real nurturing week to allow the rebirth and nurture she was holding the little baby phoenix. So it's a nurturing week through this month.
Yeah. And it makes a lot of sense, like when you're talking about the feminine's really tuned into the natural rhythms and cycles of the earth and of the moon and all those things. So it does feel like, and emotions come with that. They flow. Emotions are meant to flow through and out and up and around. So it's not something that we're meant to hold on to and be in and form an attachment to. It's this, things will not transform if we can't let go.
Well, and this isn't about separation either, though, for men that might be seeing this or something. So it's equally important for the men in our world to soften and receive and listen. And then so many women, it's been pounded out of them since the 60s and the 70s, So we all have work to do still. So but be gentle with ourselves and but as long as we're staying open and at least, trying and receiving, it's a step.
Yeah. And I think we've gone through different cycles through the year with these readings, and sometimes it felt like we needed the masculine aspect of ourselves to step forward. Already it looks like the feminine side of ourselves is the one that's offering the most support, right? So the next week is the Canary Spirit. Sing your own song. Number 12, break down to 3. I love this one. I love that this canary is wearing a crown. So there's that feeling of sort of majesty within this tiny little bird. May not be the king of the jungle, but it's still the king of its own, self in a way, because it's or queen, because it's sort of owning its own energy. And this idea of singing your own song, it feels like maybe the first week is still going to be a lot of that processing, some of the heavier stuff. But then it'll be time to step into this feeling of confidence and joy in just allowing your own voice to be heard, really being who you are in the world. And this may have gone through a process of transformation, especially over the last few months. Things that we think we're doing or things that we think we're here to do or give are no longer in alignment. And as that shifts, it can be really disconcerting, because it might feel like, you've lost sight of everything that you thought you were meant to do, but it's just undergoing a change like the rest of it. So it does feel like there's going to be an opportunity to step out, maybe in the second, as we head into the second week, step forward again. Remember who you are.
Well, mine's a little not quite stepping out, but it's the 5 of stones, which is earth and abundance, but she has everything she needs, and it's kind of a restful, it goes along with the sing your own song, but it's like knowing and trusting that you're supported, you have protection, yet there's a lot of growth. she's got her wings. I mean, she can pick up and fly like the canary at any moment, but it's resting and receiving and trusting, and it's just, she's a little sad, like you talked about. There's still emotions there. But it's finding balance. You know, when you feel like singing, go ahead and sing. When you feel like dancing around, do it. When you feel like just sitting and resting and, you know, putting your head on the table, do it. I mean, we have to start being true to how our feelings are guiding us. We really do.
Mm-hmm.
We've stuffed and ignored them for so long.
Yeah, that's true. Then we have the High Priestess, week 3. So this is as we head out of the full moon or into the full moon. Yeah, into the full moon, I think. Number 2, High Priestess, all about intuition. I mean, this ties in so beautifully with the new moon, but this is about, well, actually, it ties in with the full moon as well. I mean, you've got the moon cycles there in the bottom, but it really is about things coming to light that may have been hidden, and that makes sense with the message of the full moon as well. But it's very much, again, tapping into that feminine wisdom within us all, and really, really allowing yourself to be guided by your intuition, as opposed to by ego or by external things that are trying to tell us one way of being or living or doing or expressing. This is intuitively led. And that ties in beautifully, actually, with the canary. Sing your own song, trust your intuition, sing it. Yeah.
Yeah, and mine for the 3rd week is, I can never say this, Mott, and it's number 8, and it's justice. So it's about balance. A lot of balance, and listening to your, again, it's kind of the same thing, finding the balance between the information that you're getting, your intuition, and what you see out in the world, and using your own discernment. And receiving again. It's interesting, my layout's similar yet really different than yours, because mine is all feminine and there's just a lot of resting. There's just a lot of resting in my girls as we get on around here. But even the justice, I mean, she's at rest. She has her wings, and there's bounty all around her. The fish are below, and the lotus flowers, and the ancient, you know, Egyptian tomes and all that. But it's still receiving, and that's the way the High Priestess always looks to me too, like she's receiving and she's also projecting to us all this wisdom and information. So
Yeah. And it makes sense to me that there's so much rest, because I think we don't give ourselves enough credit for the fact that change and this level of transformation is exhausting on many different levels of our beings. So we need rest, you know, it's time to.
Which is why the caterpillar becomes mush before the butterfly emerges. I mean, truly, we're really in the mushy parts.
Yeah, yeah.
And the mushy part doesn't do anything except be mush, you know, and just trust the process. So.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
And that's the hardest thing for us intelligent, thinking, emotional beings to do, is to
just let it all flow.
Yeah. But the justice is nice in going, I think, from around the full moon, because it's encouraging about the balance and hitting where it does and finding balance. And it's interesting because there's movement all around. These birds are flying, there's a butterfly flying, and even though there's a lot of movement around, still trusting that the balance is happening.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool too. And like when you think about the balance, like, you know, when the moon is full and it's a full reflection of the sun on the other side of the world, like it's, I don't know, I like that as a kind of balance too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I've got a hawk spirit. Let spirit be your guide. Number 32, which breaks down to a 5. So all of the transformation. And I mean, that's like exactly what you just said about, you know, the blind faith or trust that is needed in this type of change. Give it all up to spirit. Like, you know, we're still in this transformation phase. Don't. It's not about forcing your will on yourself or the collective. It really is about trusting that whatever is happening is for the good of all of us, and that as we shift through it and come out the other side, um, that's when we begin the collaborative process of rebuilding together. But yeah, it's interesting. It's quite an individual process at the moment. All these cards are individual. And like you say, a lot of stillness. So it's just let it happen around us. Let it play out and trust.
Yeah, because even your hawk is standing there. He's not
It's not in flight.
soaring.
No,
Mm-mm.
no.
Well, then you're going to love this one. 4 of Scrolls.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
And she's resting there with all, you know, she's done the reading, she's done the research, she has the information, she
Yeah.
has all this, and she's just taking a nap.
Yeah.
And just as, you know, back to the caterpillar, it's like the caterpillar has turned to mush, and you just got to wait. And I can hear people thinking, well, we're humans, we've got to do. Well, yes, you've got to still move through life, but you can quit pushing so hard through life and pushing. You know, it's not about pushing anymore and giving your opinion and all this. It's like we need to quit talking and listen,
Yeah.
and be the best we can be as individuals. And because this is the time to relax into all the hard work that's gone on. And yes, there will be more. It's not
Yeah.
easy for the butterfly to take flight, but it'll happen.
It will. Yeah. And that's it exactly. Like it's the difference between chase and allow, right? When you're chasing, you're pushing. You're kind of pushing against what the thing that you want. When you're allowing, you're saying, okay, whenever the time is right, whenever all things are aligned, here I am. Bring it on.
Well, and you could push right on past what's heading for you. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that's the thing we forget. We could go boom, right past it. There it is. It's
Yeah.
coming for us. But we're looking somewhere else like crazy people.
Yeah. 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 So it does feels like I feel very mellow. I actually feel quite sleepy. I mean, I probably did before we started, but I actually from the cards feel like the sense of it's not necessarily going to be a fast moving month of like high drives, and you know it may just feel like more and more resting, more and more receiving. And you know, when we talk about receiving, it's not always receiving buckets of gold or, you know, all the gifts. And sometimes it's receiving insights that crack you open and bring on the grief. And maybe that's just what you need at this time. But it's all a part of this deep transformation that we're in the process of. So there it is. We'll see.
Well, and I decided on this sleepy, no action kind of month. I thought, oh, I'm going to pull one of my rose affirmation cards for the month for
Oh,
everybody. And I
lovely.
have to laugh because what is it? I am blossoming.
Oh,
And the rose hasn't started opening yet. So
right.
here we go. Just more affirmations. You know, the bud has to keep keep doing its thing there, and
Right.
it's starting, but it's not bloomed yet. So
Right.
we're still in a tight little bud.
Yeah, because if you
So
pulled all that off, you'd just destroy it, you know, if you
yeah,
pulled all
exactly.
that.
And
Yeah.
there you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Gotta wait.
That's lovely. Thank you. So that's what we have for you this month, and we'll be back next month.
Have a good
Thank you
month.
for watching. Yeah.
Bye.